The Azerbaijani Interior Ministry has detained members of two organized crime groups in Baku suspected of drug transit from Iran, their online trafficking and cybercrime. Operational and investigative activities are ongoing in connection with the illegal actions of individuals who are citizens of Russia. Earlier, the Azerbaijani Interior Ministry said that 7 people were detained in Baku after searches at the Sputnik Azerbaijan editorial office. Among them are the head of the Sputnik Azerbaijan editorial office Igor Kartavykh and editor-in-chief Yevgeny Belousov. According to local media reports, the employees were made absurd accusations that they were allegedly FSB agents. As reported by APA with reference to the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Azerbaijan, the activities of 2 organized criminal groups, which included Russian citizens, were stopped. They are suspected of transiting drugs from Iran, online trading of illegal substances and committing cyber fraud. The Prosecutor General's Office of Azerbaijan has launched a criminal case over the torture and particularly brutal premeditated murder of 2 Azerbaijani nationals and persons of Azerbaijani origin by Russia's law enforcement officers. The preliminary investigation revealed that on the morning of June 27, a joint operational search operation was conducted in Ekaterinburg, Sverdlovsk region, involving officers from the Russian National Guard, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the Federal Security Service. During the operation, Azerbaijani citizens and persons of Azerbaijani origin residing at various addresses in Ekaterinburg were detained on suspicion of involvement in prior criminal activities. According to the investigation, the aforementioned law enforcement officials acted collectively and subjected the detainees, who were in a virtually defenseless state, to systematic torture. The abuse occurred during the arrests, inside official vehicles, and within administrative buildings of the operational bodies, resulting in severe bodily injuries. As a tragic consequence, Hüseyin Safarov, a 60-year-old Azerbaijani businessman born in 1966, died around 3 p.m. on the same day within an internal affairs administrative building in Ekaterinburg. His brother, Ziadin Safarov, a 55-year-old taxi driver and father of 2, succumbed to his injuries earlier that morning while in a service vehicle of the operational authorities. Forensic medical examinations confirmed that Hüseyin Safarov died from post-traumatic and post-hemorrhagic shock caused by multiple injuries, including numerous rib fractures. Ziadin Safarov's death was attributed to post-traumatic shock resulting from multiple bodily injuries. The investigation further established that other Azerbaijani detainees subjected to similar torture methods sustained bodily injuries of varying severity. These individuals continue to receive medical treatment at healthcare facilities within the Russian Federation. The investigation department of the Prosecutor General's Office of Azerbaijan has assumed responsibility for the preliminary investigation. A dedicated investigative team has been established and is actively conducting procedural and investigative measures.
The brutal murder of Azerbaijanis during a raid by Russian security forces against people of Azerbaijani origin in Yekaterinburg did not go unnoticed in Turkey, which is friendly to Baku. The head of the board of the Turkey-Azerbaijan Friendship, Cooperation and Solidarity Foundation, Aygun Atar, sharply condemned the Kremlin regime and called on all Azerbaijanis living in the Russian Federation, which is about 3 million people, to come out in protest. Reports write about this with reference to Atar's post on social networks. The professor noted that in Russia, the state carries out terror against all other nationalities. Hey, shameless Putin, do you miss the USSR, which was a prison of nations? Atar addressed the Russian dictator. She added that Putin, imitating Stalin, is pursuing a policy that denies the right of non-Russians to exist. According to Attar, Russian regime security forces raided the homes of Azerbaijanis in Yekaterinburg because they spoke out against being sent to war in Ukraine. Attar is originally from Azerbaijan, but has lived in Turkey since the mid-1990s and is a citizen of that country. She previously held a post in the Security and Foreign Policy Council of the Turkish Presidential Administration. Baku's reaction to the events in Yekaterinburg. Meanwhile, reactions from Azerbaijan to the murder and arrest of Azerbaijanis in Yekaterinburg continue to come in. On Sunday, it became known that the delegation of the Azerbaijani parliament, headed by First Vice Speaker Ali Akhmedov, cancelled a planned visit to Russia. The Azerbaijani parliamentarians had planned to take part in a meeting of the Commission on Interparliamentary Cooperation in Moscow, but changed their minds after the events in Yekaterinburg. The Azerbaijani side noted that acts of violence on ethnic grounds have become permanent in the Russian Federation in recent times. Meanwhile, arrests of Azerbaijanis detained during the raid by Russian security forces began in Yekaterinburg on Sunday. Some of them had visible bodily injuries that were probably received during the arrest, the agency notes. The arrests show that the Kremlin regime has refused to acknowledge the mistake of Friday's beating raids that left at least 2 Azerbaijanis dead. Russian occupiers in the temporarily occupied part of the Kherson region are setting fire to their own positions and refusing to follow orders. This was reported by the partisans from the Atesh movement. Agents of the Atesh movement from among the soldiers of the 205th Brigade shared information about the intention of the personnel of the 1st Battalion to set fires in their positions. The reason is an attempt to reach the command by sabotaging orders, the message says. It is noted that such actions are not isolated and are a direct consequence of chaos, fatigue, and degradation of discipline in the Russian army. The Russian military is increasingly dissatisfied with the command methods of the commander of the 205th Brigade, Eduard Shandura, who does not spare his subordinates, sending them on meat assaults guided only by his own benefit. Atesh agents also reported that the current situation in the 205th Brigade is not new. Previously, the Scythian Brigade commander trained personnel in it and then received a promotion and went to the General Staff of the Russian Federation. Exhaustion, apathy, and lack of response to systemic problems only exacerbate the situation, Atesh noted. The partisan movement also says that cadets of the Military Institute of Communications from St. Petersburg are undergoing practice at the front, while the main building of the educational institution remains empty. Our agent went through the entire territory. The barracks and training buildings are deserted. Even at the checkpoint, where the cadets themselves used to serve, there is no one now. The reason is simple. Almost all the cadets were forcibly sent to the so-called Special Military Operation, the report says. As noted, this is formally documented as training practice. However, in reality, cadets are sent to the army, often without proper military training. At the same time, Atesh emphasized that such actions once again indicate a deep-seated personnel crisis in the Russian army. As the agents noted, Russian troops are preparing assaults near Oleshki. At the same time, due to heavy personnel losses, the 28th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces is being replaced there.